Exploded now! Fabrizio Romano confirms Spurs-linked manager won't renew his deal. Is the path now clear for Thomas Frank's replacement? Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Shockwaves are rippling through North London after Fabrizio Romano dropped a major bombshell that could have huge consequences for Tottenham's future on the touchline. Romano has confirmed that Oliver Glasner has decided not to renew his contract at Crystal Palace, a revelation that immediately throws fuel on an already raging fire surrounding Thomas Frank's increasingly fragile position at Spurs. According to Romano, Glasner has made up his mind. Despite being under contract, the Austrian coach has no intention of extending his stay at Selhurst Park. He will remain professional and focused on Palace's campaign for the remainder of the season, but internally his future is already mapped out elsewhere. The message is clear. Glasner is preparing to walk away. That news lands at the worst possible time for Thomas Frank. Tottenham's recent performances have been widely criticised by supporters, with frustration boiling over after a run of flat, uninspiring displays. Large sections of the fan base are already calling for change, branding Spurs' recent football as directionless and alarmingly passive. Pressure that was simmering is now close to boiling point. Glasner was seriously considered by Tottenham in the summer, following the dismissal of Ange Postecoglou. At the time, Spurs ultimately opted for Thomas Frank, believing his Premier League experience and profile fit the club's short-term vision. That decision is now being heavily questioned, with hindsight proving increasingly uncomfortable. Glasner, by contrast, arrives with genuine pedigree. He guided Crystal Palace to an FA Cup triumph and previously lifted the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt, achievements that separate him from the usual pool of mid-table Premier League managers. While his Palace side have been inconsistent this season and his handling of certain situations has raised eyebrows, his trophy-winning CV still carries weight inside elite boardrooms. Crucially, Glasner's availability dramatically alters the managerial market. Tottenham have limited elite options should they decide to pull the trigger on Frank, and Glasner instantly becomes one of the most realistic, proven candidates on the table. A coach with European success, Premier League experience and no intention of renewing his current deal is exactly the type of opportunity clubs rarely ignore. Adding an almost cinematic twist to the situation, Tottenham face Crystal Palace this Sunday. The timing could not be more brutal. Should Spurs stumble again, questions will only grow louder. Every touch, every substitution, and every tactical decision from Frank will be scrutinised under a microscope, while Glasner stands on the opposite touchline as the living embodiment of an alternative future. Romano has been clear. Glasner remains fully committed to Palace for now. But Tottenham's hierarchy will be watching closely. If results fail to improve and pressure continues to mount, the path to a managerial change suddenly looks far less complicated. One thing is certain, the ground is shifting beneath Thomas Frank's feet, and Oliver Glasner's contract decision has just made the situation at Spurs far more volatile than anyone expected. Tottenham have placed themselves right at the heart of a rapidly escalating transfer battle for one of Europe's most electrifying young attackers, with Kenan Yildiz now emerging as a genuine January obsession in North London. The Juventus starlet, widely viewed across the continent as a future elite forward, has become a central figure in a growing power struggle between club ambition and player expectation. Turin and Spurs are watching every development closely. Sources indicate Tottenham's interest is no longer casual admiration. Internally, Yildiz is viewed as a transformative attacking piece. Technically elite, tactically flexible, and already performing at a level well beyond his years. Capable of operating from the left flank or drifting centrally as a second striker, the Turkish international ticks every box Spurs believe they are missing in the final third incision: bravery on the ball and genuine match-winning quality. However, Tottenham are far from alone. Premier League rivals are circling, with Chelsea also pushing aggressively and monitoring Juventus's next move. The race is tightening into a three-way scrap, with English clubs increasingly confident that Juventus may be forced into a difficult decision sooner rather than later. At the core of the situation lies a contract impasse. Despite being settled in Italy and valued highly by Juventus, Yildiz is seeking a major salary uplift, understood to be in the region of £5 million per year. That demand has not yet been met, and patience inside the players' camp is thinning. If Juventus hesitate or attempt to delay negotiations, the door could swing open and Tottenham are prepared to walk straight through it. From Spurs' perspective, the timing could not be more significant. The club are determined to make a statement in the market, targeting players with both immediate impact and long-term upside. Yildiz is viewed as a rare opportunity, a forward already delivering at a top European club, but still young enough to be moulded into a centrepiece of Tottenham's next cycle. There is growing belief within Premier League circles that if Juventus fail to act decisively, pressure will mount quickly. Tottenham's stance is clear. They are firmly in the race, fully aware of the competition, and ready to move the moment the situation tilts in their favour. The coming weeks could prove decisive, with Yildiz's future rapidly becoming one of the most explosive subplots of the January window. Fabio Paratici's looming return to Italian football is already sending shockwaves through North London. As momentum builds behind Paratici's expected move to Fiorentina, attention has quickly turned to the possibility of the former Spurs power broker looking back to his old club for reinforcements, and one name is rising above all others. Radu Dragusin has emerged as a prime target. Reports from Italy suggest the Romanian centre-back sits at the very top of Paratici's wish list as he prepares to take up his role in Florence. Fiorentina's interest is far from new. The club made discreet inquiries weeks ago, only to be firmly rebuffed by Tottenham. At the time, Spurs had no intention of opening talks. That stance, however, could now be tested in ways it wasn't before. Paratici's deep-rooted relationships inside Tottenham changed the dynamic entirely. Few figures understand Spurs' internal thinking, valuation models and negotiation thresholds better than the Italian. If anyone believes a deal can be engineered, it is him. And Fiorentina see Dragusin as a cornerstone, signing a defender entering his prime, physically dominant, tactically disciplined, and already proven in both Serie A and the Premier League environment. Tottenham, for their part, are well aware of the growing danger. Dragusin's stock has risen sharply since his move to England, and his profile has not gone unnoticed back home. Fiorentina are not acting alone. Roma are monitoring the situation closely, identifying the Romanian international as an ideal solution to reinforce their defensive line in the second half of the season. Meanwhile, Italy's heavyweights are also circling. AC Milan, Inter Milan and Napoli have all registered admiration, turning Dragusin into one of the most sought-after defenders potentially available this winter. Spurs are believed to value the player at around £30 million, a figure reflecting both his age and his upward trajectory. Any negotiation would be complex, but Paratici's involvement adds an unpredictable edge. His arrival in Florence could accelerate conversations that previously went nowhere, especially if Fiorentina sense even the slightest softening of Tottenham's position. As January approaches, this is shaping up to be a storyline loaded with intrigue, personal connections, and serious financial muscle. Paratici's next move could trigger a tug-of-war across Italy. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!